All right, good morning, guys. We're on Luke chapter 10. And after this, the master appointed 70 others and sent them two by two ahead of him into every city and place where he himself was about to go. Then he said to them, "The harvest indeed is great, but the workers are few. Therefore, pray the master of the harvest to send out workers into his harvest. Go, see, I send you out as lambs into the midst of wolves. Do not take a purse, nor a bag, nor sandals, and greet no one along the way. And whatever house you enter, first say, 'Peace to this house.' And if indeed a son of peace is there, your peace shall rest on it, and if not, it shall return to you. And in the same house, eating and drinking whatever with them, for the laborer is worthy of his wages. Do not move from house to house. And into whatever city you enter, and they receive you, eat whatever is placed before you, and heal the sick there, and say to them, 'The reign of Elohim has come near to you.' And into whatever city you enter, and they do not receive you, go out into its streets and say, 'Even the dust of your city, which clings to us, we wipe off against you. But know this, that the reign of Elohim has come near to you. And I say to you, that it shall be more bearable for Sodom in that day than for that city. Woe to you, Chorazin! Woe to you, Bethsaida! For if the miracles which were done in you had been done in Sor and Sidon, they would have repented long ago, sitting in sackcloth and ashes. But it shall be more bearable for Sor and Sidon at the judgment than for you. And you, Capharnaum, who are exalted to the heaven, shall be brought down to Sheol. He who hears you hears me. He who rejects you rejects me. And he who rejects me rejects him who sent me." And the 70 returned with joy, saying, "Master, even the demons are subject to us in your name." And he said to them, "I saw Satan falling out of heaven as lightning. See, I give you the authority to trample on serpents and scorpions, and over all the power of the enemy, and none at all shall hurt you. But do not rejoice in this, that the spirits are subject to you, but rather rejoice because your names have been written in the heavens. In that hour, Yeshua exulted in the Spirit and said, "I praise you, Father, Master of heaven and of earth, that you have hidden these matters from clever and learned ones, and did reveal them to babes. Yes, Father, because thus it was well-pleasing in your sight. All have been delivered to me by my Father, and no one knows who the Son is, except the Father, and who the Father is except the Son, and he whom the Son wishes to reveal him." I just want to share real quick. I'm getting very emotional while I'm reading this, because we were in church yesterday, and our church congregation has decided that on Sundays, instead of doing church as usual, that we're going to gather for some worship, and then we're going to split off into groups, and we're going to spread for miles and miles to go and evangelize to reach the lost. And Marcus, who often speaks on Sunday, yesterday joined Pastor and his wife to speak with us, and Marcus literally read this exact scripture about going out, and they're talking about miracles because many people connected with our pastor do pray for people and see people healed. They've even had people who were proclaimed to be dead come back to life. They are living the scripture, and the scripture where he says, that he's given you the authority to trample on serpents and scorpions. But then he goes on to say, but don't rejoice over this. Rejoice that your names have been written in the heavens. Anyways, I'm just sitting here reading this, thinking that this is absolute confirmation from the Lord to me this morning, that this is his word for me personally. And of course it is, because it's his word to you personally as well. So, moving on, we were on verse 23. And turning to his taught ones, he said separately, blessed are the eyes that see what you see. For I say to you that many prophets and sovereigns have wished to see what you see, and have not seen it, and to hear what you hear, and have not heard it. And see, a certain one learned in the Torah stood up, trying him and saying, Teacher, what shall I do to inherit everlasting life? And he said to him, What has been written in the Torah? How do you read it? And he answering said, You shall love Jehovah your Elohim with all your heart, with all your being, with all your strength, and with all your mind, and your neighbor as yourself. And he said to him, You have answered rightly. Do this and you shall live. But he, wishing to declare himself righteous, said to Yeshua, And who is my neighbor? And replying, Yeshua said, A certain man was going down from Yerushalayim to Jericho, and fell among robbers, who both, stripping and beat him, went away, leaving him half dead. And by a coincidence, a certain priest saw him. He passed by on the other side, and likewise a Levite also, when he came to the place, and seeing, passed by on the other side. But a certain Shomoroni journeying came upon him, and when he saw him, he had compassion on him. And he went to him and bandaged his wounds, pouring on oil and wine. And having placed him on his own beast, he brought him to an inn and looked after him. And going out on the next day, he took out 2 denarii, gave them to the innkeeper, and said to him, Look after him, and whatever more you spend, I shall repay you when I return. Who then of these 3 do you think was neighbor to him who fell among the robbers? And he said, He who showed compassion on him. Then Yeshua said to him, Go and do likewise. And it came to be as they went that he entered into a certain village, and a certain woman named Martha received him into her house. And she had a sister called Miriam, who also sat at the feet of Yeshua and heard his word. But Martha was distracted with much serving. And coming up, she said, Master, Are you not concerned that my sister has left me to serve alone? Speak to her then to help me." And Yeshua answering said to her, "Martha, Martha, you are worried and troubled about many matters, but one only is necessary, and Miriam has chosen the good portion, which shall not be taken away from her." And it came to be while he was praying in a certain place, as he ceased, one of his taught ones said to him, "Master, teach us to pray, as Yohanan also taught his taught ones." And he said to them, "When you pray, say, 'Our Father in the heavens, let your name be set apart. Let your reign come. Let your desire be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us day by day our daily bread, and forgive us our sins, for we also forgive everyone who is indebted to us. And do not lead us into trial, but rescue us from the wicked one." And he said to them, "Which of you shall have a friend and go with him at midnight and say to him, 'Friend, lend me 3 loaves, since a friend of mine has come to me on his journey, and I do not have food to set before him?' Then the one inside answering says, 'Do not trouble me. The door is already locked, and my children with me are in bed. I am unable to get up and give to you.' I say to you, if he does not get up and give to him, because he is his friend, he shall get up and give him as many as he needs, because of his persistence. And I say to you, ask and it shall be given to you. Seek and you shall find. Knock and it shall be opened to you. For everyone asking receives, and he who is seeking finds. And to him who is knocking it shall be opened. And what father among you whose sons ask for bread shall give him a stone? Or if he asks for a fish, shall give him a snake instead of a fish? Or if he asks for an egg, shall give him a scorpion? If you then, being wicked, know how to give good gifts to your children, how much more shall your Father from heaven give the set-apart Spirit to those asking him? And he was casting out a demon. It was dumb. And it came to be, when the demon had gone out, that the dumb spoke, and the crowds marveled. But some of them said, he cast out demons by Beelzebul, the ruler of the demons. And others trying him were seeking from him a sign from heaven. And he, knowing their thoughts, I don't understand what kind of sign they could be asking for from heaven, beyond the fact that he's casting out demons. This is just weird to me. What did they want him to do? Call angels down out of the sky? And he, knowing their thoughts, said to them, every reign divided against itself is laid waste, and a house divided against a house falls. So if Satan also is divided against himself, how shall his reign stand? Because you say I cast out by Beelzebul. Now I cast out demons by Beelzebul. By whom do your sons cast them out? Because of this they shall be your judges. But if I cast out demons by the finger of Elohim, then the reign of Elohim has come upon you. And when a strong man, having been well armed, watches over his own court, his possessions are in peace. But when a stronger than he comes upon him and overcomes him, he takes from him all his armor in which he trusted and divides his booty. He who is not with me is against me, and he who does not gather with me scatters. When the unclean spirit goes out of a man, he goes through dry places seeking rest, and finding none, he says, I shall return to my house from which I came. And when he comes, he finds it swept and decorated. Then he goes and takes with him 7 other spirits, more wicked than himself, and they enter and dwell there. And the last state of that man becomes worse than the first. And it came to be as he was saying this, a certain woman from the crowd raised her voice and said to him, "Blessed is the womb that bore you, and the breast which you sucked." And he said, "Blessed, rather, are those hearing the word of Elohim and watching over it." And while the crowds were thronging, he began to say, "This generation is wicked. It seeks a sign, and no sign shall be given to it except the sign of Jonah, the prophet. For as Jonah became a sign to the Ninevites, so also the son of Adam shall be to this generation. The sovereigns of the south shall rise up in the judgment with the men of this generation, and shall condemn them. For she came from the ends of the earth to hear the wisdom of Shlomo. And look, a greater than Shlomo is here. The men of Nineveh shall rise up in the judgment of this generation and condemn it. For they repented at the preaching of Jonah, and look, a greater than Jonah is here. And no one, when he has lit a lamp, puts it in a hidden place or under a basket, but on a lampstand, that those who come in shall see the light. The lamp of the body is the eye. Therefore, when your eye is good, all your body also is enlightened. But when your eye is evil, your body also is darkened. See to it, therefore, that the light which is in you is not darkness. If then all your body is enlightened, having no part dark, all shall be enlightened, as when the bright shining of a lamp gives you light. And as he spoke, a certain Pharisee asked him to dine with them. So he went in and sat down to eat. And when the Pharisee saw it, he marveled that he did not first wash before dinner. And the master said to him, "Now you Pharisees make the outside of the cup and the dish clean, but your inward part is filled with greed and wickedness. Mindless ones! Did not he who made the outside make the inside also? But give in kindness of that which is within, and see, all are clean to you. But woe to you, Pharisees, because you tithe the mint and the rue and every plant, and pass by the right ruling and the love of Elohim. These you should have done, without leaving the others undone. Woe to you, Pharisees, because you love the best seats in the congregations and the greetings in the marketplace. Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, because you are like the unseen tombs, and the men walking over them to not know." And one of those learned in the Torah answering said to him, "Teacher, when you say this, you insult us too." And he said, "Woe to you also, you learned in the Torah, because you load men with burdens hard to bear, and you yourselves do not touch the burdens with one of your fingers. Woe to you, because you build the tomb of the prophets, and your fathers killed them. So you bear witness that you approve of the workers of your fathers, because they indeed killed them, and you build their tombs. And because of this, the wisdom of Elohim said, I shall send them prophets and emissaries, and some of them they shall kill and persecute, so that the blood of all the prophets which was shed from the foundation of the world shall be required of this generation. From the blood of Hevel to the blood of Zechariah, who perished between the slaughter place and the dwelling place. Yes, I say to you, it shall be required of this generation. Woe to you learned in the Torah, because you took away the key of knowledge. You did not enter in yourselves, and those who were entering in you hindered. And as he was saying this to them, the scribes and the Pharisees began to oppose him fiercely and to draw him out on many subjects, watching him and seeking to catch him in whatever he said, so as to accuse him.